So, hello guys, welcome back to the KP show. We are back after a while. The last we did was the India versus England Test series. Quite a magnificent Test series we've had there. A young team went there from India, and with not too many expectations, the stalwarts had retired. And I think we did put up a great performance. 2-2 at the end of the day is a fair result to the series. And yeah, now we move on to the white ball format. We're going to talk about the Asia Cup and yeah, we're going to be talking about the squad, the playing 11, the conditions that are on offer, and then we talk about how India is going to do in this tournament. And of course, the bigger challenge for us is the World T20 in our home in 2026. So we are going to be looking at all the things from that perspective as well. So, Pratik, without any further ado, let's kickstart the proceedings with the controversy with respect to the squad selection. I think a lot of the YouTubers, all the news and media outlets, they've all had a lot of fun with this one and have minted a lot of money with this. I think now it's time for us to do the same as well. Not quite, but yeah. But we are not going to be talking about it from a masala perspective. Rather, we are going to be talking about from a cricketing lens, how it would impact our approach as a whole, and we are going to be talking about the selections as well. I think the biggest point that we should start with is Gill's selection. I think I'd want to hear your thoughts first.
Yeah, Shubman Gill's inclusion, I think it was kind of, uh, you can say, predictable that at some point of time he is going to make a comeback. But I was not expecting him to make a comeback at this point of time, given that how well Sanju Samson had played, or prior to that, how good Yashasvi Jaiswal was when he was opening the batting for India in the T20 internationals. So I think it was quite surprising to see him chosen ahead of Yashasvi Jaiswal, to be honest. And but yeah, I think it's not an incorrect selection in any aspect, but to have been made to have made him the vice captain of the side, that means he is going to be a guaranteed starter, which means one of the openers that we were playing is going to be benched, and that is something that I don't like with this thing, with this election.
I think that's exactly my problem. I think we kind of shot ourselves in the foot with that kind of a selection. As a vice captain, I think, yeah, you look at it how it has been presented to us. It's quite strategic. The inclusion was well planned, and I mean the points that Agarkar made in the press conference, you can't argue with them. I mean, if you look at Shubman Gill's numbers over the last few IPLs, they're supremely phenomenal. And considering how his competitors have fared in this season of the IPL, particularly, I think Shubman did get that nod ahead, and they could cover everything with that. Also, the fact that Shubman did well as a leader in the England Test series, also had runs with the bat. The 269 that he scored was phenomenal. Now, all those things kind of played into the selection, and they were able to justify it, I would say. See, the player Shubman Gill, I don't have any problem with that, but I think the problem was more about, Jaiswal and Samson were kind of the better fit for the mold that we were looking for, kind of like the uber aggressive approach that we had planned. So Jaiswal and Gill, they are naturally aggressive players, and of course they did the job way better than you would expect Gill. I mean, see, Gill can do well, and he's going to score tons of runs in this Asia Cup and going forward as well. But will he be able to fit himself into that uber aggressive approach, that uber aggressive role, that you were talking about, the 80 run power play, that kind of stuff? That is the
Yeah, that
question.
is going to be an issue. That is going to be an issue for sure. I think. I think Yashasvi Jaiswal. I think he had the numbers in his favor as well, and he was the T20I opener for us, even leading to the World Cup last year. He played all the games till that World Cup, and in the World Cup, we made a strategic call that we have to open with Virat Kohli, and we have to make him sit out of the 11. But till the World Cup, he played all the games as an opener along with Rohit Sharma. So I think I, I kind of don't understand this discontinuity in the selection process. One series there was a Yashasvi Jaiswal, the next series you bring in an Abhishek Sharma, the next series you bring in someone else. And mind you, Gautam Gambhir last year, I think it was, he said that before becoming the coach of India, he said that Yashasvi Jaiswal is a three format player and future three format player, and he should play all the games. It's a luxury to have such a player. And now he's the head coach, and the first name we see out of the team is Yashasvi Jaiswal. So it's kind of surprising for me that he was not picked. And he had a good IPL season, I think. The start was not that great, the first 3-4 games, but after that, he kind of did a good catch up job. I think 650 runs almost at 165 or something. It's quite good, given the way Rajasthan Royals fared out as a team. I think Jaiswal was really good with the bat. And in the MVP charts also, he was in the top five. So I think he had a very, very, very good season. But unfortunately, I think he misses out this time.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite unfair on that guy. I think he was supposed to be our next three format player. I think we are kind of the board is kind of obsessed with making Gill. I mean, there is nothing wrong with that, but the thing is, you have to stick to the mold. Uh, yeah, my only concern is, are we going to stick to our uber aggressive approach, or are we going to move away from the uber aggressive approach and go back to our traditional ways, where kind of the batting was centered around Virat, which was fantastic for those times. But now the level of T20 cricket has changed. Now can we afford to center our batting around Gill? And yeah, moving forward in that aspect. So that is going to be the biggest question. I think the criticism that is there right now is going to be massive. It's going to multiply massively. It's going to increase tenfold if that doesn't work out. That's the challenge.
Yeah, that is for sure. I think there will be a change because when we discuss the 11 and possible 11, then we will discuss how this election is going to affect that thing. But one thing is sure that Shubman Gill is going to play and he will is going to open the innings. That is for
Yeah.
sure.
Also the point that you raised about him being the vice captain. I think, see, we are assuming that Gill is going to do well because his form and all. But what if he doesn't do well? Now, how do you drop your vice captain? That is also a question, right? You can't just drop him on the basis of maybe one tournament. You got to give him a long run as well. So, how would that impact the side? I think it's a lot of questions at this moment. I think at the KP show we always, you know, kind of speak about all the points that we have, but at the same time, once the squad is picked, we are fully behind the player. Of course, our goal at the end of the day is for India to win, no matter who plays, right? And I think that's the same for each and every player. Of course, all of them want to play, all of them want to score hundreds for the national side, but at the end of the day, deep in their hearts, they want India to win, and I think that's all that matters, right? So not that we're not going to criticize if things are not right, we're going to do that. But yeah, we're going to fully support Gill. But yeah, again, how do you drop your vice captain if he doesn't perform? So
Yeah,
it's
that
going to
that
be
is
very
going to
interesting.
be, but that case is I don't think that is going to be the case in this tournament, given that the form that he is coming uh, into
Mm,
this tournament. So I don't think that will be a case here. But the only problem is the non-selection of Yashasvi Jaiswal here. I mean, I have nothing
mm,
against Gill. I'm a big supporter of Shubman Gill, but I think it was slightly unfair on Jaiswal, given he was the backup opener.
absolutely.
In fact, the starting opener, and then you asked him to focus on Test cricket. And see, the problem is you have different rules for different players. Because if Shubman Gill was asked to skip the T20s, citing that he has a Test assignment in Australia, the same was given for Jaiswal. And if Jaiswal was uh, higher in the pecking order before that, then I think Jaiswal should have had the first chance to come back in. In fact, you wanted someone out of them to come back into the 11 or the
Yeah,
squad, whatever. So I think that is a bit unfortunate on Yashashvi's part, given how well he
yep,
has played whenever given a chance.
yep, yep. And talking about continuity, it was always supposed to be two out of Jaiswal, Samson, and Abhishek. Abhishek is there, so we're not going to be talking about him too much. So it's about Jaiswal and Samson. So we talked about Jaiswal. Now Samson, I don't think he's going to be in the 11. And also, I'm hearing rumors that he's injured or something. So already those kind of things have started. And you know how it is with the Indian team, right? Suddenly, all of a sudden, somebody gets a, you know, back injury, back spasm, or back spasm was the very common thing. Niggle, all that kind of stuff. So it's already floating around in the market for Samson.
See, for Sanju Samson, I think it's a bit of both. I think he's unlucky as well, and they are kind of biased against him if you see closely. When there is a T20 World Cup around, they ask him to play the ODIs. When there is a ODI World Cup coming forward, they ask him to play in the T20s. And even if he performs in either of the formats, they do not select him. If they select him, they do not play him. Then all this kind of stuff always comes in that before the toss, Rohit Sharma, sorry, after the toss, Rohit Sharma explained for 20 minutes why he didn't play. Means, what was the reason? You didn't play him the entire tournament. Even if you don't play in the final match, what that guy is going to do? I mean, I don't know. Anyways, so it has been always like that against Sanju Samson, I believe. It's unfair on that guy a bit. But in this case, I think it was kind of weird to say the least. And again, Agarkar comes out and said that we played Sanju because Shubman was not there. And I mean, how can you make such a statement in a selection committee press conference? I mean that you ask him that guy to change to a new role. Like I'll tell you, last year 2024 IPL, he had a terrific season at number three. Won I think four man of the match awards in 14 games that they played, 14 or 15 games I think. Whatever games they played, he got four man of the match awards. And at number three, he cemented his position. He got selected, but out of nowhere, Rishabh Pant plays the entire tournament. He didn't bat a game at three for Delhi Capitals that season, but they chose Rishabh Pant over Samson for some reason. And whatever happened, it fared out well or not well, but we ended up winning the T20 World Cup. Okay, that's one. Now this year again, you ask him after the World Cup to come out to bat and as an opening batter. He changed his roles. He did pretty well. Not I think 300s he scored, two against South Africa and one against Bangladesh at home. And I watched that Bangladesh 100 live from the ground. So it was quite breathtaking, to be honest. So I think he played well. Okay, one argument you can make that in the remaining whatever games he played, like 8 or 10 innings, he scored only 120 runs aggregate. Okay, that is one argument you make. But again, you are asking your batters to score some 70 to 80 runs in the power play. So that if you bat with that approach, no, 30% is a very good 30% success rate is a very good success rate. 3 out of 10 games, even if you fire, it's a very good success rate, if you ask me. So
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, whatever approach you asked him to play with, he did play with that. Whatever role you asked him to perform, he did perform. And now the chief selector just comes out and says that he was a replacement and we have the main guy back. So it's kind of unfortunate. And also, resulting because of this, the entire team is going that how it should have shaped up is now going to change because of this one change.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the point that you made, right? We are going in with an uber aggressive approach. 3 out of 10 games that you're gonna fire, that's fine. Why? Because you have eight batters in your lineup. Maybe three of them or four of them are gonna have a bad day, but the other four are gonna make it up, and you're gonna get to a decent total. That's what has been happening. If you're not getting those 280s, you're getting that 190, 200, those kind of scores. So I think that approach is gonna get compromised. I think when we make the 11, we're going to be talking about it more in depth. But yeah, I think that is the problem that I see with this kind of a selection. And of course, yeah, it's kind of unfair to Jaiswal and Samson, but I think that's the cards that all of us are dealt with, and I think that's how we need to talk about.
Again, I'll reiterate Gautam Gambhir's words from 2020, or was it 2021? 2021 IPL, I think it was the game against, yeah, that IPL where five teams used to play in two venues and then they used to rotate, the 50-50 IPL. So this was the game against Rajasthan Royals playing Kings 11. Kings 11 put on some 220 to 2025, and RR was chasing at 1 KD,
This
and
was the
Sanju could not hit
Mumbai
that.
game, yeah.
And
Yeah,
Mumbai against Punjab.
he didn't give
Chris
strike to
Morris
Chris
or
Morris.
Chris Morris, I think it
Travis
was.
Morris.
Morris in the
Yeah,
last over, but he could not finish the game. And
finish
that
off the game.
game,
Yeah,
I think, yeah. And that game, Gautam Gambhir came out and said that on Twitter as well as in the news media that Sanju Samson is the best young batter and best wicketkeeper batter, all these things. And now you ask him to open. He was playing some domestic game and he said that to Ravi Ashwin in his YouTube channel. I think they were having a talk, and that Surya and Gambhir they came up to him and they said that after the World Cup that you will be our opener for these many games, and that's how we want you to play. Then
yeah.
you made him an opener, and all of a sudden during the selection talk or the press conference, the chief selector comes out and says that he only played because Shubman Gill was not there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unfortunate. I mean, unprofessional, if you ask me. That's a bit
I mean,
unprofessional and harsh.
yeah, I mean, like I said, it was kind of a strategic placement on how Agarkar handled that press conference. I mean, Gill was strategically brought in, so there is no argument on his cricketing credentials, especially looking at his numbers of the past IPL seasons, as I already talked about earlier. But looking at what your team was, dude, it's not right. The inclusion was not right, simply put.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
but yeah,
now, now,
yeah, good.
and now the problem is for because he will be an opener that he was given a guaranteed spot from maybe Surya, maybe Gambhir, maybe anyone from the team management. That guy means whatever happened at Rajasthan Royals is almost known to everyone. They let go of Josh Butler and all that harakiri that happened at Rajasthan Royals. They ended at ninth, I think, this year.
Yeah.
Ninth, I think they ended, right? So, I mean, all of this mess was created. You can say this was one of the reasons that Sanju will be a opener going forward into the season. And Butler was not retained, and whatever happened. But at the end of the day, who is gaining from it? At least it is not Sanju, all I'd say. Now it's
Yeah,
almost certain that he's not going to play because now why he is not going to play? Because you can't replace Tilak at 3. Tilak is ranked 2 in T20I rankings and he has given performance. If you say Sanju has performed, Tilak has performed more consistently, almost at a
exactly.
similar strike rate. You
And
can't point a finger on him, Tilak Verma.
I think that is exactly the point, and I think that also brings an end to our discussion about Gill's inclusion versus not having a Jaiswal or not having a Samson in the playing 11. Now we move on to the next bit of controversy that we had was inclusion of Shreyas Iyer. Now here I have a bit of a different thought than what I have heard from most people. So everybody is going gaga over Shreyas Iyer and why is he not in the squad? Why is he not in the 11? So I have a very simple theory. Shreyas Iyer was not in India's plans for T20I cricket since a long time. He has had a great IPL as a captain. Yes, agreed. Should he have been in the squad? Maybe you could have had him, but for me, there was no way he should have been included into the playing 11. There was no way. Why? Because the same reason that I talked about Gill. You have to have that continuity. You have to have that approach, which is why Jaiswal or a Samson as opener, second opener, along with Abhishek, is what I would have preferred. I don't prefer Gill here, but definitely we're going to support him now that he's there. We're not going to cry about it every day
Yeah,
that
that is
why
for
is Gill
sure.
there.
That is for
Yeah,
sure. We are fully
yeah,
behind the team, whoever is playing.
absolutely.
That is for sure.
So all the discussions and deliberations is as long as the selection isn't done. Once it is done, we are there with the team fully. So that's the motto that we follow. Not that doesn't mean that we're not going to criticize if they don't do well. Of course, we are gonna. So yeah, moving on. In the Shreyas Iyer topic, even if you had him in the squad, you could never have included him in the 11. Why? Because
Why?
as you mentioned, Tilak has been phenomenal. You can't slot him at number 4 because Surya, he's your captain. Granted, he hasn't had the last few good games haven't been good for him, but he did make a comeback in
There
the IPL,
there is a
and he's
reason
going to
because
do
of that.
well.
There is a
Yeah, that
reason because
injury.
he
He had
was
an
chronic. Yeah, he has
yeah,
an elbow injury, and
yeah,
he went through some. He went through a rehab
yeah.
during the
But
Champions Trophy
but
break
again,
and all. Then he came back.
again, yeah, again, even with all those reasons, we don't even need to discuss about Surya, is what I feel, because he has done enough to to not be questioned at least as a captain and as a player, because he was. So now we have this T20 lineup, but he was our OG T20I player, buddy. So when nobody was playing T20 cricket like that, he was playing it. So we should not question Surya at least. So he's
Surya,
there.
see,
Huh.
someone who is playing with an injury, I think we have to cut some slack. If we are saying that we have to cut some slack for Bumrah in Test cricket because he's the best bowler that we have got in that format or
Yeah.
in any format you say. Surya is simply the best batsman in T20 cricket for us. Like for the last this decade, in fact, from the time he has been with the team, apart from a few games, he has been very good.
Yeah,
Few games he has.
decade, when you say decade, we have to be clear that it's from 2020.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. We are halfway into the decade, and for the last
yeah,
5 years, he has been a top performer for the team, or maybe any team, be it for India or maybe for the Mumbai Indians. He has been the top scorer at a very healthy strike rate. So Surya is his place or his selection is unquestionable here. Also, he is
yeah,
the captain, so and we have got results as well under him. My
yeah,
problem was why I was saying Shreyas Iyer should have been in the 11. Reason being he is probably the best player of spin currently in the Indian circuit, if you ask me.
yeah, he is. He
Probably.
is.
He is, right? And we are going to play a World Cup next year in India. Given his prowess against spin, I think he should have been in the side. Also, if I go back, he was the main man in the middle overs in the 2023 World Cup. Even if you go and read some articles or see some interviews or podcasts from George Bailey or Brad Haddon or whoever was a part of that Australian team dressing room, they all said we had made detailed plans to get rid of Iyer because of the slow, sluggish track. If that guy sets in, we saw what he did against South Africa at the Eden Gardens, which was a turning track, mind you. Jadeja ran through the South African team, but this guy dismantled Shamshi and bit of Keshav Maharaj as well. He played Maharaj out and all absolutely hammered Shamshi all around the park. Shreyas Iyer. So they had very detailed plans, and they knew he was the main man, the accelerator in the middle. If they get rid of him early, the game is well in their bag. So and that
But again, the
happened as well.
question.
And now why I tell he could have slotted in at 5, but because of what all changes you made, because Samson was your keeper and he was opening the batting, Jaiswal and he was anyways could have been your reserved opener in that case. 3 and 4 were fixed, Tilak and Surya. He could have slotted in at 5. That was a
But I
clear
think
cut
five.
indication.
You could slot him at 5,
Yeah.
but again, then you drop a Rinku or a
So
Dubey. That makes
you
sense.
do
That is okay.
how are you making a case for Dubey ahead of
Oh,
Shreyas Iyer at this point of time? I'll be honest with
you.
you. And no disrespect to Shubham Dubey, but I'll be
So I
honest.
wouldn't.
I'll have an honest
I
question for you.
wouldn't.
Ha-
I
That's
wouldn't.
it.
But then he is in the squad, so that's the point. He is in the squad, and he has been in the consistent run for Team India. So don't be shocked if you see Shivam Dubey ahead of maybe even Rinku Singh in the first match in the playing 11. I don't know why they do consider him as a all-rounder, at least on paper. So that is the reason why he probably gets the nod ahead. But yeah, we'll come to that. We'll come to the playing 11. Before that, let's close out the topic on Shreyas Iyer. So for me personally, I didn't think he could fit into the 11. Maybe at number five, whatever you're talking about, that could have been an option. But I don't see any point to do all this kind of experimentation in the Asia Cup. Yes, India is the strongest
No,
team. India should win it hands down. But I don't see all of that should be done here. Anyway,
but but at the T20 World Cup in next 6 months, I think it could have been a good dress rehearsal, if you ask me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. From
Shreyas
that
Iyer,
point of view,
I mean,
maybe yeah.
and the point is, he has been brilliant in the middle overs, especially this year the ball reversed a lot as well. If you see, this year the ball reversed a lot as well in the IPL. Still, that guy batted really well, and his play against spin was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I think it's bit harsh on him. See, if I go by that logic that he was in see the continuity has to be for all the players, right? You can't have a continuity for a Shivam Dube and Rinku Singh and not have it for a Yashasvi Jaiswal or a Sanju Samson at top.
I mean,
It should
that's how
not
our
happen.
squad has been selected. That's how the
Yeah,
squad has been selected, and I think we
this
have
has
to
to
roll
be
with
called
it.
out. Yeah, this has to be called out in that case. Then you can't say that why you are criticizing us or something like that.
Absolutely,
If
that
that
that I agree with.
if it is a continuity thing, then we should be continuous. That should be followed for each and every player or at least each and every position.
Hey,
But that is not happening.
and that is precisely why, at least from my perspective, I'm sticking to the 11 that we had. So if I'm sitting here and criticizing why they have included Shubman Gill over a Jaiswal or a Samson, stating continuity issues, I cannot be sitting here and saying you should have included Iyer. So that is why I stick to my path that overall continuity matters to me. And more than continuity, even if you are making changes, it should be personal changes who are like to like, and it should align with your overall strategy of uber aggressiveness. I think with Shreyas Iyer, you have a point. He also can be uber aggressive as he has shown in the IPL. Yeah, definitely. You could have replaced a Rinku Singh with him, considering Rinku hasn't been in any good form, let alone
No, yeah,
compare his form to Shreyas Iyer's. So that could
definitely.
have been a good shout. I agree. So that's that.
See,
Let's close out this topic on Shreyas, and now let's
one
talk
more
about the
thing.
playing.
One more
Okay,
thing.
I'll let you end it, and then we talk
Dube
about the playing 11.
Dube would anyway be selected because of the injury proneness of Nitish Kumar Reddy. If Nitish Kumar Reddy was fit and fine, there was no way Dube was going to be selected after what season he had here, this year at least. There was no way he was going to get selected.
Mm.
Because of how injury prone Nitish Reddy has been, we really don't have any backup for Hardik Pandya. So, in that aspect, Dube will always have a nod ahead of anyone. But the case of Rinku Singh, when they said that we need an extra batter there, I think Shreyas Iyer had a chance. Because Rinku Singh was the last name that was
Announced.
said by Agarkar, yeah, announced by Agarkar, saying that we need an extra batter. So if you needed an extra batter, that means you are not looking for any extra overs from him or anything extra from him apart from the batting part. Then I think Shreyas Iyer could have been there, at least in the 15, I'd say.
In the 15, definitely he should have been in there. That's what I talked about already. In the 11, I was dicey, but yeah. Okay, let's construct the playing 11 since we're talking about the 11 so much. I think the first two slots are pretty much guaranteed. Abhishek Sharma is opening along with Shubman Gill because vice captain and all. Number three, four. I don't want to say this guy is three, this guy is four because that always depends. And we go with
No,
that left-right approach anyways.
let's go with Tilak only. Reason being, he has
Feel
been
like,
so consistent for us at number three. See,
yeah, but
I'm
we're not.
not a big fan of these things. This
They're
left,
gonna
right,
do
and
left, right.
all
They're
these
gonna do
have
left,
been.
right. Bro, we have to roll with what's going on. So our best 11 that we would have made anyway is not gonna take the field. So let's just talk about realistically what's gonna happen. So three,
Okay.
four is your Tilak and Sky, right? So number five. So this is where five and six again. One of them is Hardik. Again, they'll do the left, right thing here also, along with one of Rinku or Dube. I think Dube is
I
gonna
think.
get ahead.
Rinku is going to play. That I'm
Rinku is going to
pretty
play.
sure Rinku is going to, because Rinku was the starter in the England series as well. Because of some illness or something, he didn't start. Then he again made a comeback and he played all the games and he batted ahead of Dubey in those games as well. If you check the
Hmm.
scorecard, maybe the Pune
I
game or after that the Wankhede game, Rinku they had a preference for Rinku, and it is perfectly suited, I believe.
I I would be happy to see Rinku if they are preferring him over Dubey. But considering the point that you mentioned earlier, he was the last name to be announced in the squad.
No, no, they
I
said
have
that they
my
need an
doubts.
extra bat. They need an extra bat. See,
I
I'm
don't know,
telling you,
man.
Dubey is going to be in the 15. Reason being, he's a backup, genuine backup, whatever genuineness as an all-rounder
I
that guy has.
I mean
But
I
he's the
wholeheartedly
only he's the only option that we have as a backup for Hardik currently. We don't have
I
any. So what we
wholeheartedly
can do?
I wholeheartedly disagree with that statement. I mean, have you seen Shivam Dube bowl? At least in this IPL? No. He doesn't
I
bowl for a
remember.
reason. What I mean,
I
see, you know that the quality is just not the same, not even close. I would prefer a Shardul Thakur as a replacement to Hardik Pandya if push comes to shove, because at least he will bowl something. Shivam Dube is not the right answer there. But yeah, whatever floats their boat. So
I'm going with Rinku here at number 6.
yeah. I would also go with Rinku. I mean, generally, he should be the one who is playing. But yeah,
And
we'll see
also,
what happens.
I'd say why I am saying Rinku. One more point that Agarkar mentioned, that we are expecting a little bit of bowling from Abhishek Sharma here.
Hmm.
So he can be one extra bowling option if at all it is required.
Hmm.
Because he's an all-rounder. Like we have seen that.
Yeah,
He can bowl a bit. And he bowled a
yeah.
bit as well in the few of the games against England as well, I think.
I think
So Abhishek,
he should continue to bowl because even in the IPL he should like kind of push and improve his bowling more. He used to be a good bowler back in the day, like 2 3 years ago even. I don't know why he has reduced bowling because his batting has
the
been so
impact
good.
sub. Impact sub.
Yeah, I know. That rule should be scrapped as soon as possible. Probably next year, I guess. Next to next year, because next year MSD is playing, they're not gonna scrap the rule, I know. At least the year after that, they should scrap the rule altogether. So,
Anyways, so for me, Rinku plays at 6,
mm,
Jitesh at 7, given how well he has performed for RCB
yeah.
at that role, and
I think I think
Akshar
Jitesh is
Patel
one
at 8.
selection. I think Jitesh is one selection where there should be no questions. I don't think anybody would question his selection. Even
No,
from a
nobody.
continuity standpoint of view, he is a valuable addition to the team, and such valuable addition should always be made, even if it comes at the expense
Point
of
is,
continuity.
he should not have been dropped in the first place only. Yeah, actually, he was the keeper batsman when we went to South Africa tour after the World Cup. If
Yeah,
you remember, when Surya's first assignment as the captain there
yeah.
after the ODI World Cup, Rinku and all. That team, Jitesh was the keeper. Then they removed Jitesh, they brought in Samson, then they removed Samson, they brought in Pan, then they again removed Pan, they brought in Samson, now they again remove, it seems they will remove Samson. Anyways,
Yeah.
so Jitesh Sharma, I think, should start, given, let's be very clear that we want role specific players here. We don't want anything new, and we don't want to put Sanju Samson in a new role currently. Because we have a
Absolutely agree.
specialist there. Specialist there.
Yeah,
So we don't need to do that. Akshar Patel at 8,
yeah.
all rounder, can bowl a bit, can bat if required, can come up as a good option against spin bowling if required at number 5. And now, who are your 3 bowlers here? One is Bumrah for sure. Varun has
I
to be
think,
there for sure.
yeah, there's no
Because
debate here, I think, for me.
Varun,
Arshdeep, Bumrah, and Varun.
Arshdeep, or are we going to see a
No,
bit of
I don't want to hear an option.
Arshit Rana?
Arshdeep
Arshit Rana.
Arshdeep should be there, man. Come on. Arshdeep is your best T20 bowler. Arshdeep is your Bumrah in T20s because Bumrah hasn't played the last few T20s. I think last one and a half.
No, I'm
I don't
just
think he has played
asking.
post 2024. I
I'm
don't think Bumrah has played post
No, he hasn't
2024
played.
World
He
Cup.
hasn't played.
No, yeah. I
I
mean,
don't think he has.
I don't know why we always come down to crossroads like these where we have to discuss such obvious
See,
selections.
see, I'll tell you why.
This
I'll
team
tell you why.
management, come on.
I'll tell you why. Given the thing that we are again playing in UAE, where uh, Arshdeep and Harshit Rana both were selected for the Champions Trophy, and we all know who played. So that's why I'm asking this question: that are we going to see Harshit Rana over a Arshdeep? Also, that will elongate the batting to number 9 because
No,
Harshit
as much
Rana.
as
No,
see
Harshit Rana can bat.
what
He
you're
can bat a
saying is
ball.
a probability. What you're saying is a probability that could happen. I'm not gonna deny that, but it's wrong and wrong. I'm a huge fan of deep batting lineup, you know. I always advocate for batting depth, but not at an expense like this. You cannot have Ashdeep benched. Come on, man. He was your premier bowler. So if Ashdeep is benched, then I mean this team management seriously deserves a lot of criticism. And that's definitely gonna come from me. For sure. You should not bench Ashdeep for Harshit. I mean what sense does it make? Maybe if you want to rest Ashdeep against maybe teams like you can say Hong Kong or an Oman or those kind of teams, okay, I understand. But if you're giving somebody rest, you're gonna give it to Bumrah, right? You're not gonna give it to Ashdeep. So what's the point?
So this is one school of thought that we created a team with. Another school of thought of mine was with the inclusion of Shubman Gill, we might go against what we have seen till now. I mean, the deep batting, swashbuckling batting style. I think we might dump it for this tournament at least, with Kuldeep Yadav at 8 for Rinku Singh. And how? Yeah, Kuldeep Yadav coming in at 8 with two pacers and two proper spinners with Akshar and Hardik bowling the remaining 4 overs. That is also one option that I can see. Reason being, UAE does assist spin a bit more, especially if you are bowling first. If you are bowling second, then God forbid the due. If there is due, you are going to get absolutely smacked, no doubt.
And I think that also brings to the point about conditions. September month, at least maybe in the earlier days, you're not going to see that much dew. You will still see dew. Maybe it's not going to be win the toss, win the game situation as it was in the T20 World Cup of 2022, but it still will play a huge role. And I don't think we should go in with three spinners. See, Champions Trophy, it made sense because those were more or less day games, right? And even the games didn't go too much late into night. They finished by what 9:30 IST almost. But
That
these
is
games,
8 p.m.
T20,
Dubai time.
yeah, at these games they're gonna start at 8 p.m. IST or I guess 8 p.m. IST if I'm correct. I just need to check that. This is the first game. Yeah, 8 p.m. IST. So these games are gonna go till what 11:30, and there's gonna be a lot of dew. Even in Champions Trophy, we did see a hint of dew. So I don't think it will make much sense to play kind of three full-time spinners. You're playing three full-time spinners, right? Akshar, Kuldeep, and Varun.
Yeah, Akshay Kuldeep. Bhatt.
Yeah, no, so it
And
would
in
be an
that
overkill, I
case,
believe.
I'll bring in Harshit Rana to just make him bat at 8.
Uh,
That is a
that
valid
that
combination. That is a
yeah,
valid
that's a
combination, I'll tell you.
that is a valid combination. I agree. But you have Abhishek Sharma as well, right? If it is assisting spin, why not utilize Abhishek and see what happens? So you already have three spinners in
But
your 11. So,
yeah, but Kuldeep was your lead spinner in the T20 World Cup last year.
bro, Kuldeep was lead spinner. Samson was your wicket keeper. Everything is gone for a toss. You have to just see what happened in the last few games and go off of it. It seems a lot of it is being picked on the vibe. I don't know why I feel that way, but yeah.
I think Kuldeep was really going good until that dive that he took against GT game in
Hmm,
fielding on fine leg rush, trying to stop a boundary. That was a
yeah.
day game against GT, Delhi Capital, from where Delhi started losing the games. That streak, he went on a wicketless for 2 3 games, and then they started losing all the games. I think Kuldeep was bowling really well up till that point. I think 5.5 economy and a wicket or two every game he was getting. But
Yeah,
again, it all faded away suddenly.
yeah. I mean, what can we say? Unfortunate scenario there also, but yeah, I think that's the playing 11. I think let's talk about the playing 11 once again. I'll just read out and let me know if you agree with this. So Gill
Mhm.
and Abhishek Sharma, they are our openers. Tilak 3, Sky 4, Hardik or Rinku at 5 6, whatever. Jitesh at 7, then Akshar at 8, Arshdeep, Bumrah, and Varun. This is going to be my 11. Do you agree with this, or do you want to go with the second approach?
In this case, you have only five proper bowlers, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, we have five. Akshar, Arshdeep, Bumrah, Varun, and
No, this is
Hardik.
not going to happen. I don't think this is going to happen realistically. But yeah, let's lock it in because they said that they want some overs from Abhishek Sharma. And
Yeah.
yeah, so let's lock that in.
So even Tilak can bowl, man. I mean, these guys
Yeah,
should be forced to
Tilak.
bowl a bit.
In fact, Rinku Singh was seen bowling in the UPT20 league.
Yeah.
So
If required, we should push these guys. I mean, that's the only way you can make
yeah,
all-rounders of these players.
see, even on a bad day, you need to bowl a over only, right? If someone has a
Yeah,
bad day, you need to bowl one over only because you have three options in Tilak, Abhishek, and the other guy, Rinku.
Rinku.
One over each, and the 4 overs are done.
Yeah,
And if two
exactly.
players, two bowlers are having a bad day, then well, nothing can save you in that
So if
case.
two bowlers, my theory says if two bowlers are having a bad day, considering the stature of the bowler that we have, if two of them are having a bad day, then the pitch is that kind of a pitch. So your
Also,
batsmen are more likely to smack the opposition as well.
yeah. Also, one more thing. If we are going by that approach, this whatever 11 you said, in that case, Arshdeep Singh has to play. There is no
Hmm,
way we are
absolutely.
taking a discount. We are taking a discount on any kind of whatever bowling we are playing. We have to
Exactly.
play our best possible bowlers.
So yeah, yeah. If you are playing batting till 8 and you are having four proper quality bowlers, only then it works out. And you have to have these three: Bumrah, Ashdeep, and Varun. Three out and out top T20 bowlers, along with Akshar, who is very good, and Hardik can be dicey. So it depends. He's also good when it comes to that. I mean, on his day, he can be your best bowler. So, I mean, he won us the T20 World Cup, in fact. Klaasen's wicket. Had he not taken that wicket, who knows what would have happened. So, yeah, let's not discount Hardik as well. So, I think
Yeah.
that's
Hardik is
right
an
about. Uh,
absolute game changer. That has been for sure. That has been for the years.
yeah.
See, my theory has always been if Hardik Pandya performs well for his whatever team he plays, his team has the maximum chances to win. And if he doesn't
And he
perform, the
plays.
team has the chances go down significantly. And
Yeah.
what
And
and
also,
you
he
see
plays
the
in crucial
data.
positions. He
Yeah,
plays in crucial positions. He plays as a finisher. I mean, if he doesn't finish games, you are finished for sure.
yeah.
So, so that is the case. Now, let's talk about the scenario for India. We've talked about a lot with respect to the World T20 and the approach that should be followed. I think we should still go with the 8 plus 3 kind of approach. You can say the eighth one, Akshar, is like proper bowler, so 4 you can say. But yeah, I think we should go with that, and we should be still continuing with our uber aggressive approach. And I think Gill is the one who has to show that. There is no question about his ability. There is no question about his numbers. Everything is there with him. Uh, it's just that he cannot play the traditional batsman kind of a
Shubman
role,
Gill way.
which,
He cannot play the traditional Shubman Gill kind of a game.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to put a name to that. Just the traditional T20 way, whatever was working earlier, because the game has moved on. You need to kind of boss look at those big scores, 250, those kind of things. Not gonna happen every day. I get it. On tough wickets, it's not gonna happen. You have to play sensibly. Also, when you're chasing 170, I mean, you
There is
would
no
bat
need
the
to.
way you. There is no
There
need
is no
to.
need to.
But
Yeah.
yeah, when you're batting first, try to make the best use of the conditions, whatever they are. So that's the expectation. We'll see how it goes. We'll not judge Gill based on the numbers that he produces, but rather we'll judge him on the basis of the role that he's given. I think this is the role he should be given. We will come to know the way with the way he plays. So that's the topic there. Now we'll talk about what's going to happen in the Asia Cup. I mean, let's talk about the Asia Cup format now. To those who don't know, this is divided into two groups. There are four teams in each group, so total of 8 teams. Top two from both the groups they make it to the they make it to the next round, which is dubbed as the Super Four. There you would have a round robin format between all the four teams. The top two from there is going to play the final. I mean, quite an exhaustive format for for such a short tournament. I mean, they're not leaving any chance to squeeze the last bit of dollar they can out of this tournament. I would say that. So there is a possibility that we're gonna see three India-Pakistan matches. I mean, a month and a half ago, or maybe 2, 3 months ago, we were discussing we shouldn't even play Pakistan. But yeah, here we are. I mean, I don't like it, but we cannot help it. So yeah, India's ambitions to be a global kind of host with respect to Olympics and all definitely do come in the way sometimes of our national pride. And I think, I don't know, maybe we just have to swallow it. Perhaps that's the way it is. The world works. You don't know, but yeah, whatever it is, we are not the decision makers, so we just have to roll with whatever is given to us. So unfortunate, but yeah, that's the scene. So the groups are divided in this way. Group A is Oman, UAE, India, and Pakistan. Group B, you have Afghanistan, Hong Kong, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. So Pratik, for me, Group A is obviously simple. India, Pakistan. I think you also have the same.
Yeah,
And for Group B, this is where it's a bit of interesting thing that's happening. Afghanistan, Hong Kong, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. Who are the
I
two
think
teams that
Sri
you
Lanka.
think are going to go through?
I think in the T20 format, I think Sri Lanka and Afghanistan surely, and Sri Lanka has an edge over Bangladesh at least in T20s as of now,
Mm, mm,
because they are means Sri Lanka is at least traditionally a better player of uh, spin bowling,
Spin.
and in UAE, I think they are the defending champions as well in this format. And last time it was
Yeah.
conducted in UAE only, so I think Sri Lanka have a better chance.
Mm. I also believe the same that Sri Lanka and Afghanistan are going to be the ones. So that gets us to our top four, the Super Four: India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. Sorry, Afghanistan. Now, what do you think about the final? For of course, India is going to be there because there is no way India is going to lose two matches on the trot in such a scenario. So India is definitely playing the final. We don't know what's going to happen in the final, but yeah, one of them is India. What about the other team? Take your pick. Pakistan,
I
Afghanistan, Sri
I'd
Lanka.
like I'd like it to be Afghanistan, but let's see.
Afghanistan has quite a good chance. In the last T20 World Cup, they have performed very well, and it's going to be very
Thing is,
interesting.
their bowl. Thing is, those guys bowl really well, but the batting just suddenly gives up. At
Hmm,
crucial moments, the batting just simply gives up. The bowling has always been good. Let's be honest.
yeah,
I think starting from 2018, when they, I think, first time made the final, or no, first time they were playing in the Super 4 in the 50 over format. We were playing in UAE. I think that time also their bowling was really good, but the batting was not up to the mark. And still, I think those gaps still prevail. Batting has to do its bit. 50
I
overs,
think
they have done it. They have done it somehow so far, but some way. But T20, I think the batting has to do a lot of catch up. The bowling has been brilliant. I think they also have four spinners. I think Allah Ghaznafar, Noor Ahmad, Rashid Khan, and Nabi is still playing. So four spinners they have. Faruqi is there as a pacer, and one more pacer is there for them. So I think bowling is quite
Azmatullah should be
stacked.
there. Omar Zai.
Azmatullah Obarzai is there. So yeah, the bowling is quite stacked, but I think the batting has to step up this time.
Yeah. I am backing the Afghan boys this time. Let's see. India-Afghanistan final is definitely going to be something to look forward to. And India-Sri Lanka final also is something that entices me. This time, I don't want to see Pakistan in the final, especially because I don't want to cover their games. But yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens. From Pakistan, I think the only two players actually I'm looking forward to. One of them is Saim Ayub. The other would be Abrar. Abrar is there in the squad, right? If I'm not wrong, I haven't even checked their squad.
Yeah, yeah, Abrar is there.
Yeah, he's a good spinner. So I liked his bowling in the Champions Trophy. I mean, he troubled Virat Kohli a lot. So Virat Kohli was definitely not having the best of times against spin, but with Abrar he was struggling a lot. With the other spinners he was still able to maneuver the ball. So I was quite impressed by him in the Champions Trophy. So that guy and Saim Ayub are the two players I'm looking forward to from
And
their team.
yeah, this was the exact reason why I wanted Shreyas Iyer in the middle.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, I think we've got the goods, man, to win the Asia Cup. I mean, I'll be
Yeah, yeah, we
very
definitely got
surprised
the
if
goods.
we. I'll be very surprised if we don't win the Asia Cup. See, one bad day can come to us. T20 format is that fickle. But yeah, if you have the quality that you have in your bowling ranks and the batting depth that you have, I don't think you should be losing any T20 games. I mean, I'll be very shocked if it
But
happens.
that is the problem, right? We had the luxury of extra bowling option, but now we don't have that. Because of this reshuffling of the 11, now
Mm,
we have to pay it somewhere. Either the
yeah.
approach or the extra bowler and the extra batter. Like whatever 11 that you created, that has an extra batter, but you are a bowler short. You have to bowl your two all-rounders, 4 overs quota, at least on paper.
Mm,
But
mm.
with the 11 that I went, I have a one extra bowler, maybe Hardik or Akshar, whoever you consider. But again, I am a batter short in that aspect. If something
Yeah.
bad happens, then the score will be low. But
Yeah.
yeah, but that is the choice that they made, and we have to live with it.
I mean that also comes down to the standard statement, right? There is not one way to win a cricket match. There are multiple ways. You just need to figure out what works for you. I think that's a choice that the management has to take. Very interesting, very exciting. This Asia Cup. I think the viewership is going to be a bit low because I don't see all that hype that used to be there for the Asia Cups. Again, that could be because some big names are missing. But I think cricket just lives on, man. We watch it for the love of the sport, not for individual players.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. So I think on that note, let's close this video. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this preview. We're back after a while. With respect to the Asia Cup, we're not going to be covering each and every game, obviously. What we're going to be following is we will cover stage by stage. Once the first stage is done, we're going to do a holistic review of what happened there and post that in the Super 4. Probably we're going to cover all the India games. Not promising anything, but we'll try to cover
We'll
each
try.
and every India game. Yeah. And then, of course, final we're going to cover. So that's the way it's going to be. So, yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Up until then, ciao.